Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everyone had a safe Labor Day weekend, and I hope that you are having an even better weekend today. All right, so I'm not going to keep you for too long, so we're going to get straight to today's show. The title is Formation, and the topic is the importance of book formatting. All right, so for my authors and first-time authors, I cannot express to you how important book formatting is, especially when publishing a book. The focus, it often lands squarely on the story, the characters, and the message that you, the author, wishes to convey. Okay, so one critical aspect of the publishing process that is sadly frequently overlooked is book formatting. Okay, I know it may sound boring, but it is so very important, right? So while it may seem like a minor behind the scenes detail, well, proper formatting is essential in shaping how readers experience your book, right? So what is book formatting? Well, I'm so glad you asked me that question because I'm going to tell you. Book formatting is arranging a book's text, its images, and then the overall layout to ensure that it is, first of all, visually appealing, readable, and professional. Okay, because we always want to come across as knowing what we're doing. Okay. So it involves everything from font choices, chapter headings, margins, spacing, and then that most critical thing, page numbers. You know, whether you are self-publishing or even if you're going through a traditional publisher, formatting, it helps to define the book's visual structure. Essentially, what it does is it makes it easier for readers to follow the narrative and then to engage with the content. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, why does book formatting matter? Well, we've already told you that book formatting is important, right? So, and then one of the most obvious reasons for proper formatting is that it enhances the readability. Okay, if you've ever picked up a book and you started reading it and it flowed, well, okay, that had a lot to do with the formatting of the book because it's important. It's an important step. Okay, so a well-formatted book draws the reader in, and it guarantees that they can focus on the content without distraction. We don't want the readers distracted, right? We want them to read that book and continue to read that book and not be distracted by something that we didn't do, okay? Like formatting, for instance. So clean paragraph breaks and consistent font sizes and then the spacing between the lines, all of that enhances that reading experience. And that's what we want to do. It may seem like a small thing, but trust me, it is a huge thing. All right, so the second thing we want to do, or that formatting does, is it establishes that look of professionalism. Okay, so think of formatting as the attire of your book, like a well-dressed man. All right, Just as a person's appearance can make a first impression, yes, the layout and then the design of your book will do the same for readers, all right? So poorly formatted books with uneven margins and inconsistent fonts or haphazard layouts, they can all give the impression that the work is amateurish. And even if the content is exceptional, okay, proper formatting signals to the readers that they are engaging with a professionally crafted product. All right. And that's what we want to do, because that is so critical in selling books and reading books and all of that. So number 3 is that it improves navigation. All right. So good formatting is not just about the aesthetics. OK, I mean, it can look good on the outside, but once you open up the cover, I mean, that to me truly tells the story. All right. Because it is also functional. Okay, it improves navigation, and then that good formatting is not only aesthetically pleasing, but it is also functional. Okay, so features like a well-organized table of contents. All right, clear chapter titles, and then those numbered pages, they help the readers to navigate the book very, very easily. And so this is especially crucial for nonfiction books or guides where readers need to reference specific sections. Okay, so they need to be able to, if they need to go back and check the information, they will generally go to the table of contents. And if that is formatted correctly, then it should match up with the pages in the book. All right. So number 4 is that great formatting aligns with genre expectations, because we know that different genres come with varying expectations of formatting, right? So, for instance, a fantasy novel might have those those fancy chapter headings, right? While a business book could just have a minimalist design, and we've seen that before. So if you stick to those genre-specific formatting conventions, then the author can meet the reader's expectations, and that's what we want to do. And then what it will do is it will present their work in a familiar, comfortable format that will just go across perfectly for everyone and their audiences. Okay. So number 5 is optimizing for those different formats. Well, in the digital age, because we are fully in that, books are not just confined to print alone. And that's a good thing, because, everyone does not have the money for paperback or hardback books. And kudos to those that do. But a lot of people opt for ebooks because, first of all, you can read them on your phone. Okay, you don't have to have a fancy e-reader or anything like that unless you want one, but you can just, download it and you can read it on your phone. So ebooks and audiobooks and PDF files, they all require that specialized formatting, because that is so crucial. If the book is not correctly formatted, then it is not going to flow right. So a book that has been beautifully formatted for print may not automatically translate well to an e-reader, where the text will flow dynamically based on the device. And I know that's a lot of technical information that I just given you, but anyway, you'll get the point. So that proper formatting, it makes sure that your book looks great across all platforms. And then guess what? You'll gain more readers. It will give you a wider audience, right? Okay. So let's talk about the key elements of book formatting. So first of all, the font choices. Okay. So stick to professional, readable fonts like Times New Roman or Garamond or Georgia for the body text. Okay. So you need to avoid those overly decorative fonts that can distract from the reading experience. Okay. You don't need those elaborate fonts where everything is just curly Q. I mean, it's okay for like the chapter and things like that, okay? But if it's the body of the book, you don't need all of that, right? Keep it simple, because you want the readers to be able to read the book and not have to guess if that's an E or a T. Okay, so line spacing and margins, all right? So we know how crucially important that is. So the proper line spacing and then the margins, they prevent the text from looking cramped. It's nothing worse than reading a book that has not been properly formatted and you have all those spaces in there. The looks like the E. Okay. So anyway, you can make it easier for the readers to follow along if the book has been properly formatted. And most books, just a tip, they use 1.15 or 1.5 line spacing for a comfortable read. Okay. Now, chapter headings. So we know that chapter titles should stand out, but they should remain consistent. Okay. You can't have it chapter 1 and then chapter 2 is different from chapter 3 and then it's different from chapter 4 and so on and so on and so on. Okay. It needs to be consistent from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 40. All right. So, they need to stand out. You need to make sure it stands out, but you need to make sure that it's also consistent throughout the book. So, you can use those larger bold fonts for headings, and then that will also ensure that they are easily distinguishable from the main text, okay? And then the page numbers. Okay, the page numbers. Page numbers should be present and consistent, whether at the top or the bottom of the page. Missing or misplaced numbers can confuse the readers, and then it can disrupt the book's flow. We don't want that, right? No, we do not. Headers and footers. Well, they usually include the author's names or the book titles. In headers or footers, they can add a touch of professionalism. And we all like that, right? We all like to look good. So that look of professionalism will help you out on that. But you need to also place them carefully to avoid distracting the reader. We don't want to distract the reader. Readers are savvy, okay? And I'm not saying that to make them seem like that they're not savvy. They are very savvy, so they can pick right up on a book that has been formatted correctly and one that has not, okay? So, in conclusion, formatting is the invisible art that shapes the reader's experience. So no matter how good your story or your content is, poor formatting can be a barrier, okay? We don't want that between your book and its audience. That's a bad thing, okay? That's a bad thing. So we all know that teamwork makes the dream work, right? So if you invest time and effort into proper book formatting, this will make your work more readable first of all, and then professional. And then it will also demonstrate that you value your reader's experience, because we want that reader to have a good experience. It's like going to Disney World, but you're doing it in a book, okay? When you walk through that gate or when you open that page, you want to make sure that that reader's experience is unforgettable and that it's a good one, okay? And not a horror story, right? Unless that's what your genre is, all right? So ultimately, great formatting is as important as the words on the page, and it will also help form a successful book. All right, guys. So that is it for today. I hope that I have shared with you something that was helpful in a big way or a small way, but that's my job. Okay. Is to share this content, to share this information with you, to make sure that everything is on point. All right. So, like I always say, listen, like, and share, because that is so vital, to Book Chat, because I do, enjoy share these tips with you on a weekly basis. I missed you guys last week, but I'm here today, and hopefully for the rest of the month, while we are already in September, and I swear this year is just flowing so very fast. But anyway, I hope that you will continue to enjoy the rest of your day, and I will leave you with this. I love you. I hope you love me, because tomorrow is not promised, and today may be the only chance you get to say it. So on that note, I love you, and I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you, and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.